Okay, so we are live.
Hello. Good
Hello,
morning.
Christy. Hello, everybody. So, welcome to another edition of Leaders Being Heard. Today, I'm Marius. Well, not today, but also tomorrow. I'm Marius, and with me is Christina and Andra. Hi, Christina. Hi,
Hi.
Andra.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to our stream today. So, today we are going to continue a conversation that we started last week, and we are going to discuss how to run a meeting. Last time we look at how you prepare for a successful meeting, but now we are interested in how do we run a successful meeting. So, Christina, I would start with you, right? How do you start a meeting, right? How do you start a successful meeting?
Yeah, right. We all start meetings, right? And we all can see that at some point.
Isn't
Uh,
this a meeting?
yeah, exactly. Um, and I think how to start a meeting, I learned from mistakes like we all do.
Mhm.
Like i- if um, if I start diving into details from the beginning, for example, I realized that uh, not 1 2 minutes, and then I need to come back and set the context. So for me, what is important when I start a meeting is that I review the agenda, the topics, that's or why we are here. Either we have
Mhm.
a bulleted list, I don't know, 3 4 items in the list, or we have only one. But even if it's one and we prepared and we know that we informed, we kept to communication open before the meeting, so we know that stakeholders are prepared, for example, I think we still need to take 1 or 2 minutes to review why we are here, to make sure that everybody gets the mind
Mhm.
close to the topic, uh, because yeah, out of experience, even if we write the title completely correct and the agenda, still people need a little bit of time to get
Uh-huh.
focused.
Yes. Mhm.
And yeah, so I start with reviewing the agenda items very quickly. Don't need to
Mhm.
overspend time on that. And also, for example, in a recent experience, somebody sent a diagram, a flow diagram up front.
Mhm.
And I realized that when we started the meeting, dived directly into asking, how do you think, guys, about this diagram? What is missing? Or do you have comments? And even though I looked at the diagram before the meeting, I realized that
Mhm.
when that person asked me, I didn't remember. I mean, I needed to go through again. So my point was, please either give me 1 minute or you just tell me briefly, okay, what is in this flow? We have these stakeholders, actors, activities. Again, not overspend it, but just for people to get in the same conversation.
Mhm.
And I would definitely stress that we need to do that at the beginning of the meeting.
So let me see if I got it right. Right. So first of all, you review the agenda, right? You create the context with the participants, more or less, right? What are we here and what are we doing here? So everybody should be on the same page, right? Are you doing also like a icebreaker? I don't know, making something funny to actually put some music for people to be to be present
Yeah,
there, not to the be. Is it something that's because I have it that when you
yeah,
looked
yeah,
at
yeah.
that diagram in a way it's kind of an icebreaker, right? Although it's very business oriented.
Now that you ask, I don't specifically prepare with an icebreaker, but until all the people come in, I usually try to speak about something and not about the weather, if that's possible.
All right.
And yeah, maybe like uh, uh, kids or still something that is familiar, but to
Okay.
get people into the conversation.
Okay. So engagement. This is
Yeah,
what I'm
but
listening for,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like
But
And
now
yeah.
that you're saying, I need to think about it more.
Okay, I just I just give you some ideas, new ideas. Awesome. So now that everybody's in the meeting, you know why they are there. What is important during the meeting for you? I'm still looking at you, Christina. So,
what is important? Well, yeah, I think the obvious. Follow the agenda, right? Follow the topics. Make sure you get your answers. Make sure the participants are there. I mean, don't get the answers by yourself.
All right.
Sometimes people, yeah, they attend, but they don't quite participate, and it's more prone for them to forget that they were in that meeting, or they forget the details that were there if I don't have their buy-in on what is discussed, you know. Yeah, I think this is the most important, and everything else diverts from keeping an eye on the intention of the meeting and on the agenda.
Okay. So you thought Andra is here just as he's sleeping, no? So what do you think, Andra?
Yes. So what Christina said around the agenda, like keep the focus on the topic. And here it really depends. It depends. It's also to be flexible with the agenda. Like sometimes, for example, let's say you are a manager and you meet with your team and you come with your agenda, and the conversation leads somewhere, and you notice that it's important to them. In that moment, you have a choice. Yeah. Either you say, okay, let's continue with the topic, or let's continue with the agenda that I prepared, or let's continue with what you're discussing because it's important.
Or you
now
can
it
go,
depends.
or you can go and say, well, I am annoyed by these people. They are not listening to me, right?
Yeah, you can go there.
You can do this.
But it's
what happens then?
A leadership skill is that actually you are there for your team. Yeah, you listen to them and their needs, and also to your needs. That is why I say it's flexible. If it's something that you need to agree as a team because in the afternoon you go to the client, yes, then you say, you can acknowledge and say, guys, I see that this is important for you. Yes, I promise to schedule another meeting and we discuss this topic. Yeah, and now it's important that we focus on this because in the afternoon I have the meeting and we need the answer.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a situation. And then you take a note and you say, in the afternoon, I will send you an invite and I promise we discuss this topic. I can see it's important. This is, you validate them and what's important to them. And in the same time, you take care of the topic that needs to be handled that day. And sometimes you can just go with what they do. Like if you had the topic, let's improve the team, let's say, let's improve our, yeah. And they go to another topic, you can just
got it.
Just acknowledge, we came with this topic, but I see this one is more important. I will create another meeting for the topic that we had and we can continue. Does that work?
That was quite an explanation. Thank you, Andra. So now that we are going this way, what can go sideways in a meeting, right? You mentioned, right, what is important during the meeting. Christina said, like, look at the agenda. On the other hand, you said, like, just be flexible and be in communication about this one. Looking at the time, right, is another thing. So yeah, everything seems perfect, right? So what could go wrong during the meeting? What can go sideways? Like, what happened?
Who do you want to answer?
I don't know. Christina, what do you think?
A lot of things can go wrong. And I think all of us encountered many meetings where things go sideways, meaning, I don't know, people tend to, or they don't focus. I mean, the conversation is not focused on the agenda, and it goes sideways. And yeah, and Andra said there is a way how to handle when the conversation goes sideways. But it can go wrong also from how the other people participate. Yeah, somebody may insist to capture all the conversation because they have a lot of ideas and they want the ideas to be heard. Or other people really are doing something else because we work virtually, we are in front of the computer, and they alt tab and they work on something else.
They're not participating.
They are not participating. And I think for me, most of the difficult meetings come from this kind of situations where people either participate too much or too little.
Okay.
Of course, it can go sideways if I haven't prepared well. Yeah, if I don't have enough data, if other people should have given input and we cannot conclude today, and then I turn out to see that I will not meet my agenda items, and then I turn it to, I don't know, into being unhappy, and then this is what causes me to say that it's a difficult meeting, or it went sideways because I didn't get what I wanted from the meeting.
So you are looking at the results more or less and saying, well, in the end, I didn't cover, or I didn't get what I came from, right? So what I heard in what you said is more or less like engagement, right? People are not participating or participating too much. If it's that,
it's a bit
it's interesting. Yes. And another thing is like discussing a lot of topic, right? I mean, you came with a topic to the meeting and they are discussing their frustration or whatever other topic they have, and you cannot, or you are not present even to stopping them or to getting back the conversation to it. So yeah, Andrea, what do you think? I mean, is like this is something for you, a question. How do you make sure, I mean, you are getting back to the on track, right? So the conversation is out there, people are not participating. How do you kind of make sure, how do you get back to the to the main road? Where is your GPS? What's the GPS saying?
Here it depends. If if you are already frustrated, oh my god, we are not achieving the topic, then it's you need to deal with yourself. We can look afterwards. But let's say you're okay, you notice, and you're on time, you notice you're okay, and then you say, okay.
One second, I need to one second.
Yeah, I will just continue. So in that moment, you have a choice. You interrupt. Yeah, you can interrupt. And the idea is how you interrupt. Yeah, when it goes off topic. And I said at the beginning, it's exactly that when I said it's okay, you can validate the other person and whatever is saying. We are just talking hypothetically. So in general, actually, what's important is to validate the other person while speaking and to say, look, you can say, okay, this, in my opinion, this does not relate with the topic that we gathered. Yeah, you can ask others, what do you think? It's related. Maybe they say yes, maybe they say no. You go from there. Or you just say like, out of this meeting, this is what we need. Yeah, but first validate, okay? This is a topic, maybe we can discuss it at a different time, or let's discuss it at a different time. But you interrupt, but not coming from, oh my God, I'm interrupting. It's heavy. Yeah, it's okay. So this is what we gather. We can discuss another.
So let me interrupt you here, right? Coming from the time perspective. So it's more or less what I heard is like actually listening to the others, right? It's kind of in a way what you are saying is like, don't dismiss it, just listen to it, and then confirm what you heard, right? And ask the others what they heard, or reframe what you heard, and make sure that that person is left not frustrated like at the end. This is, I think, and then you basically either you have two options here: be flexible, what we said before, move in that direction, or just go back to the agenda and what you have there. Right. Very cool. So now that we also enter in a interesting realm, right? So my question again for you, Andrea, is like, how do you monitor yourself during the meeting? Because I imagine when, I mean, we are running the meetings, right? And at some point things go off track, people are not participating. There are tons of reasons why you can get frustrated. Oh, well, you said it, right? Oh my God, it's not going my way, or it's not going where I want to do. How do you monitor yourself? How do you catch yourself that you are in a state? Because once you are in that state of frustration, you are not present anymore to the outcome, to the agenda, to the conversations that are happening. So you are in a mood where nothing from there, things can go only sideways, right? So how do you catch yourself? How are you aware of your emotions or your feelings during the meeting?
How do you deal with that?
And short, be brief about this one. I know it's a big topic, so give us some recipes.
Yes, it is a big topic. I'm going to be short, and we can open it in another time. So it's each of us are in a different phases. Some of us, it's more intense when we react. For some, it's little, yeah. So I'm talking when you don't know what's happening. There is a big topic actually. So it's just to catch yourself, have something maybe physical, or when you get triggered, it is a trigger that is happening there. And
like
then
your
you
chest,
have
like your chest, right? When you say like,
yes,
your chest is pumping, I'm like, okay,
or my hands are
that.
shaking, something is happening. And
what
then
is, one second, what is for you, Christina, when you are in a meeting and something, what is your trigger? What is
I
the
feel it
feeling?
I have difficulties to breathe.
Difficulties to breathe. Okay, what is for you, Andrea?
It's a pain on my chest.
What is the pain? For me, is like the chest is pumping, right? What is for you, the people that are watching us? What is for you, the reactions, right? So this is something that you can catch, right? The physical reactions. This is what you are saying. Awesome.
Yes, you catch it, and you have two options in that moment. Well, first is you work outside the meeting, and okay, when this happens and keeps happening, I need to work on it. But as an idea, you have two options. Either you say, okay, if I react now and I start talking to people, it's going to be a lot of blame and a lot of frustration. So I better don't do it. This is the short version. So I just need a few minutes. You create a practice outside. This is an option, or either you have that practice, and then it becomes easier. Yeah, it's you get frustrated, you get the feeling, I know what is going on, I can put it aside, and that's it.
Can you share for us your practice so we can get some real, when you are getting like triggered or you have some emotions during a meeting, like now, what are you doing?
Well, now I'm not triggered. I'm just looking at the time. So it's I catch the pain, and then I can sense, okay, something is not working for me. Yeah. And this just, okay, how do I feel? For me, it's going really fast now. And this I apply it even outside.
And what are you doing? You are stopping and taking a glass of water, or what you're doing practically?
If it happens when I'm talking or not. If I'm not talking, it's fine. I get the pain, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? It's process. I process the emotion. Okay, I'm frustrated, and I'm frustrated because it does not go my way, and it's fine. Yeah, and then it chills. Yeah, it takes a while, sometimes not. Yeah, and then I can say, okay, I just think, okay, what is the time that we are left? What can I do? And I'm out of the emotion, and I'm thinking of what can we do with the time left. Yeah, so I'm looking to the future.
Got it. This is a really interesting topic, and I think we need to dive it more in next time. So to end this meeting, because we don't have much time, I would ask you, Christina or Andrea, who wants to share, how do we end the meeting? Because we are about to close the meeting. This stream, so
I can answer. Oh, or you want to say something, Christina?
No, go.
Okay. an idea would be like, as a facilitator, is to look also during the meeting and at the end to look at the unresolved issues. Yeah, and to say, these are the things that we did not manage to address and they are unresolved. I took a note. I will come back to you and we will deal with those. Yeah, this is important. And also it's to look at the actions. It depends on the meeting. Yeah, actions, who's doing what out of this meeting.
Okay, so you are basically so let's draw some lines here, right? So you say you look at what is incomplete, right, and put it for the next, or address it some way. And the other things that you mentioned is like, what are the actions, right? Anything else?
I can add something very short, to review what was discussed. So like we covered 1, 2, 3, to acknowledge that we did, what we managed to do, and then what we didn't manage to do and what is open. But it's for me, for example, it's really important to see what we managed to, yay, we did it.
Okay, so let's put it like this. So to actually close this meeting, let's look, we discussed today how you actually run a meeting, right? So what are our actions? We have some topics for the next time, like how do you deal with your emotions, which are triggered during the meeting, right? And yeah, I think that was it for today. So thank you, ladies. And for you guys, if you like our content, don't forget to subscribe to be up to date to our streams. Now we are live, hopefully every week, we'll see. So I hope you enjoy.